Welcome back to the Iconic Podcast. And I have someone that you have all been flooding my DMs and emails about, and that is Erika Aquino, who is absolutely a breath of fresh air. And let me tell you, her reputation in the rooms that she's not in is impeccable. People say to me all the time, "Do you know Erika? Do you know Erika?" And she's so amazing. You two should connect. Like, you have, Erika, just the most amazing reputation. So I just want to applaud you.
Well, I didn't know that, but that's so sweet. And to anyone who's spoken about me in rooms where I'm not, kudos to them. And I hope to do the same to you as well. Your reputation is everything.
It
And
is.
I really try to uphold that.
You
Yeah.
do. And what I love about you and what I want to dig into today and the emails I've been receiving is I didn't recognize how many women in the community don't really understand investing, don't
Hmm.
understand what the different types of investing are. And they were saying to me, I mean, we have a lot of people in the community that are actually across the board in terms of business. We've got these very seasoned founders who have exited with multi millions, and then we have some who are on the precipice of just starting to build. And so we're talking to a broad range today, but I really was missing this educational piece. I'd love to take the women
Hmm.
to school today and really start with the
Absolutely.
basics, right? Because my philosophy, recent
Hmm.
philosophy, is that we should be building businesses with an exit in mind. You may choose not
Hmm.
to, but the foundations, the leadership, the tools, the things that you put into place, thinking about exiting is only going to benefit the business.
Absolutely. When it comes to exiting, you have to think about this. Do you want outside equity? Do you want somebody else involved when you finally exit the business? When you're looking for investors, you really want to enter a conversation as if you're getting married to this person. It's essentially like a marriage. They are trusting you with finances and you are trusting them to lead you where to go and what to do. It's a relationship. Another thing that you have to think about, sometimes your business isn't investable, but
Okay.
that doesn't mean it's not successful. What do I mean by that? There are some founders who say, I just want to pass this on to my daughter.
Right.
And as an investor, why would I care if you pass it on to my daughter? There are two words in angel investment. Angel is one, meaning, okay, you believe in the founder, you try to fund their dream, you support their dream. But there's also the second word, investor, meaning
Right.
I would like to see some return. But for a founder that wants to build a business that she can pass on to her daughter, her son, where do I come into this? That for me is a big no. You, as a founder, have to determine where to start and where you want to take this, how far you want to take this.
I agree. I feel like that's the deciding factor. Are you
Hmm.
doing this to build a lifestyle for yourself? Are you doing this
Hmm.
to build something that you could pass down to one of your children? That's a different type of leadership and even strategy than it is
Hmm.
to scale a business to an exit. Can
Hmm.
you maybe help someone listening in that maybe hadn't even conceptualized or played with the idea of scaling to exit? What would make somebody want to do that? What would make somebody decide to take that route?
I can't speak for every founder, but I can speak for the founders that I've worked with and that I've invested in. A lot of them are scaling to exit because one, they believe that their product or service can really help the community at large. And therefore, because it can help the community at large, it's something that they really need to get big, to grow. I know of a CPG brand that is really building to exit. She and her partner, the two of them could actually build it in the sense that, okay, this is it. It's a pretty good stack. We don't have to scale. We can sell it in farmers markets. We can sell it in neighborhood shops. But because their vision for it really exceeds their capacity, they want to scale. And to scale, they ask for outside investors for service businesses or things in healthcare, etc., you really want to make an impact. And that's where scalability comes into play.
That makes a lot of sense to me. So, how I frame that in my mind, it's almost like the business is bigger than yourself.
That's a great
You
way to frame it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I can see this as a personal brand I want to pass down to my children. I'm really leading it. I'm in it. As the founder, I'm probably wearing many hats
Mhm.
because I'm not looking for that big scale. But if I think, oh my goodness, this is far bigger than me, I need that boardroom table of experts,
Mhm.
investors to make
Mhm.
sure that I do this properly, then that's how you would sort of go down the path of looking for investors.
Exactly. It's so nice to be part of something or to build something that becomes so much bigger than yourself. I've seen it with a lot of people, and the change and the growth, both personal, of course, and financial, obviously, that's amazing.
Okay. So let's now go to school a little bit more. And again, just these women who have come in and asked me about you are like, what is an angel investor versus what is venture capital? Like, I don't understand the difference. So could you explain to the audience what those different types of investments entail?
I'm an angel investor. I'm also a limited partner in VC funds or venture capital funds.
Okay.
So those are two separate things. So an angel investor invests his or her own money to help other businesses grow. Someone could get into it either through financial capital or through sweat equity. Okay, so they can advise companies in exchange for some sort of equity. They can introduce this company to their own network in exchange for some equity. I do both. So when I put in capital, I also try and advise my founders. But essentially, an angel investor invests out of their own pocket. And then for venture capital, what they do, a general partner manages the fund, pulls together funds from limited partners, and invests in multiple companies. So that's essentially the way it is. Again, angel investor, that's my own. Venture capital, it's a
Sure.
pool of funds.
I
Yeah.
got you. What are the pros and cons to each?
So venture capital, obviously, somebody else is doing the investment for you. Okay, you do your own due diligence on the fund, but essentially they take care of everything for you in the sense that, okay, they'll look for deal flow, they'll look for, they have their own investment thesis that aligns with yours, ideally. It's essentially you take out a lot of the decision making when it
Okay.
comes to investments. But obviously that comes with fees. So once you exit, or let's say the fund exits, you tend to pay a lot of fees to the management of the fund. With angel investment, again, it's out of your own money, it's out of your own pocket. So you have to do the due diligence yourself. But at the same time, you get to pick and choose where
Mhm.
to invest. You get to pick and choose where your money goes. One myth is that I have to be so rich or ultra high net worth in order to start angel investing. That's not true. First, you have to be a qualified investor by the SEC. There's a whole criteria to that. Please Google that. But you can start as low as 5,000 via what we call an SPV or a special purpose vehicle, a bunch of angels together so that a founder doesn't have
Mhm.
to manage so many investors of small little tiny amounts. They create an SPV and a special purpose vehicle so that I would say baby angel investors can pull their money together and invest in something good. Yeah.
Okay. What I'm sensing is there's more of like a corporate feel to the venture capital.
Absolutely. There is a corporate feel. There is a whole investment thesis that they follow. There is criteria. They also have to fundraise. It's a whole thing.
I
Yeah,
assume with
absolutely.
angel investing, what I'm sensing is there's more of a partnership relationship because I can sense from who you are and what you're doing, you're more like I can see you getting your hands in the business with that founder a little bit more.
Yes, I do personally. However, not a lot of angel investors do.
Ah,
So they can put their own money in and say, hey, up to you. Go ahead. Do your thing. I will not micromanage. Ask me if you need help. But
okay.
otherwise, same thing. I don't like micromanaging, but if a founder needs help, I will absolutely give it.
Well, it's to the betterment and benefit of both of you, right? It's going to help the
Absolutely.
business grow. And then, of course, the ROI for you is there. So, what prepares a business to come to someone like you? Let's say someone listening right now is like, I actually have been on the cusp of wanting to do this. How can they prepare their business themselves to propose to someone like you for some investing?
Mm, ideally, and this is me, this is my own outlook on fundraising. And this is based on the many pitches that my team has seen. Okay. So, one, they have to have some sort of traction. Do they have customers already? What are their sales like? Why do they need outside funding? What will that outside funding do to their business? Will it get them to big, giant retail stores if they're a CPG brand? Will it take them offshore? Will it take them to new markets, new customers? That's what I'm interested in. If they are still in the idea stage or they don't have a minimum viable product just yet, what would interest me is one, the founding team. Have they worked together before? Do they have experience in exiting a company, running a company, or just operating a company, period, starting a company, all that? Have they worked together before?
Mm.
That's very critical for a founding team. And do they have evidence, research? Do they have an AI prototype of whatever it is that they're trying to build? Do they have possible customers already? Do they have testimonials? Do they have all these things? That's what I look at. They have to be ready to be answerable to someone else other than themselves. When you are taking outside equity, that means you have that duty to report to your investors. They have trusted you with their money. Now it's up to you to make the business grow. Are you ready for that reporting? Not a lot of founders are. I've encountered founders who aren't ready for that. And that's not okay as an investor. I
Oh,
have pushed back on that. Be ready to be answerable for nearly everything that you will do for the business.
this excites me because I feel like you're, first of all, calling her, we're a woman based community. You're calling her up to personal responsibility and
Hmm.
accountability, which is
Absolutely.
often the missing component, even without investors. They're just
Hmm.
kind of making decisions. And I always say, like, flailing forward, like a fish out of water, trying things. And there's not that accountability partner. So it's like almost like they're playing and practicing
Hmm.
versus building. And so I
Hmm.
really like what you said, because even the people listening who are not interested in investing or they're not there yet, what Erica just shared with you is radical responsibility. Can you answer, even pretend, who could be an accountability partner? Would you be able to answer them about the decisions you're
Hmm.
making, why you're doing what you're doing, who you're hiring, why that hire is important? I feel like you're calling her into this leadership that I
Oh
often
gosh, yeah.
see is very wobbly.
Oh yeah, for sure. It helps you grow, honestly. When you practice accountability, you make clear decisions on where your business is going. You make clear strategic decisions. It's just better for you. You grow as a person, you grow as a businesswoman. I've seen how accountability and reporting has changed the founder. They've gone from flailing forward to actually making really, really good moves in their business.
I feel like that could be actually one of the greatest assets to having an investor. Like, when I think about that,
Hmm.
yes, you have an injection of cash that you can reinvest into build the business, but you're also getting a strategic partner and that
Hmm.
accountability. And that's when somebody
Hmm.
like straightens her spine a little bit more, realizes
Hmm.
what is important, what is not, and leads her day. I just wish
Hmm.
more women would do that, because I feel like that's a lot of the times what's holding her back from revenue and growth is the
Mhm,
fact that she's
mhm,
just not leading effectively and
mhm.
doing things that are not moving the needle. It's just busy work.
Absolutely. As a founder, I think what you have to really look out for is impulsiveness.
Shiny object syndrome.
Yeah, like, oh, squirrel, the squirrel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
look. Oh, oh. You're chasing the next opportunity. No, sometimes opportunities are just there to distract you.
I agree with that. I think that's really sound advice. The other thing I noticed in your article that I really liked is that you like looking at the holistic business. So you
Hmm.
really love to make sure that the business has an ecosystem, is built on marketing and branding and publicity and so on. Do you have expertise in all of that? Like, where does that come from?
My background, I was in marketing, business development, and public relations in different sectors. I was in hospitality for a while. I launched a few hotels and casino resorts here in the Philippines. I've been in business development for financial services, in fintech, in education. And of course, I have a master's degree in integrated marketing communication. So, really, that's been my thing since I graduated university. So, that's my background. I look at the overall picture. Of course, I look at financial health. That's, I think, the backbone of every good startup. How healthy are your finances? Where's your revenue at? What's your cash flow like, et cetera, et
Mhm.
cetera.
Mhm.
But I look at the whole picture because, yes, okay, financial health is fine, but what does the company really stand for? Does it align with my values? Do I get along with the founder? What's the brand storytelling like? Who are they appealing to? Do I even like the brand? Will I use the brand? Will I shout it from the rooftops that, hey, I've invested in this? I don't really like investing in companies that I don't believe in, and who does? But because of that, I look at the holistic picture. I take a step back. What does it all look like? What's the vibe I have with this person? Will I use the product? Will I use the service? Will I endorse it to anyone? And will I speak about it in rooms where the founder's not in?
Yeah, that's excellent. I share some commonalities with you of having a marketing and PR degree and having that schooling, which teaches you really important knowledge and skills,
Hmm.
but then putting it into action by building a career around it. And it's by getting your hands in there that you learn
Hmm.
so much. You have this portfolio behind you of so many beautiful success stories that I just want to give you a little bit of an applause and champion you to say, if I were looking for an investor, you would be the first door I would knock on because, again, like the rooms that you're not in and the reputation you hold, and then this amazing portfolio and all of this knowledge, it's so, so beneficial because so many CEOs and founders right now are wearing all the hats, think they have to be the CMO and the
Hmm.
COO. And it's like we were never supposed to be all the roles within a company. And
No, no, no. Speaking to that, I really have to credit my team. As a leader, as someone who runs a business or as someone, who deals with a lot of people, I say lean into the strengths, your own strengths and the strengths of others. For instance, my fractional CFO, she lives and breathes the data room. The data room is essentially where an investor can look into an online folder, an online drive where all the information in your company it's stored there so that we can take a look at it and assess. Depending on how big the data room is, I can probably spend a few days there. I can look through it, but my eyes glaze over after a
me
few
too.
hours.
Yeah.
With my CFO, she lives and breathes and loves the data room. And she is so good. She is so strict with her line of questioning that I'm like, hey, you know what? I like you. Let's work together. I have two chiefs of staff, one for the US and one for Asia Pacific. Both of them are very detail oriented and they know what I want. They align with me and they are just so organized, way more organized than I am and way more accomplished than I was at their age. So again, lean into the strengths. With me, I think I'm very creative in terms of strategy. I'm a great communicator, that I know. I've been in rooms where I've spoken so many times. And again, it's leaning into strengths. It's harnessing the strengths of others, knowing what you're good at and what others are good at, where you're weak, and the complementary skills. It's all about that. Again, you don't have to be everything. There are women out there, peers, colleagues, etc., who can and will help you succeed.
Absolutely. I agree. You're only, to me, as powerful as your team. We have to surround ourselves with women, men, team members that have talents that we don't have to
Hmm.
fill those gaps.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's the sweet spot. I totally agree. My brain is going on to something that I really want to ask you. So I'm just going to go there. It's a bit of a right turn, but I'm curious around how you're advising the businesses you're working with the economic state we're in. I know a lot of people are fearful right now. A lot of people are feeling like, is business retracting? What are you suggesting to your businesses and your founders right now?
I think there are ebbs and flows in terms of advising. I'm really proud of my founders when I say they really know how to ride the waves.
Hmm.
They know their supply chain, they know what they need. A lot of them are looking at fundraising. So, again, it's a lot of introducing to my own networks, opening up doors for others. There are some would be founders who don't even know where to start raising or how do I make myself more presentable to investors. I help them out there as well. in this economy, you will actually find a lot of gems if you know where to look. I travel a lot. In 2025, I was in 17 countries.
Wow.
And just this year, 2026, according to my Flighty app, one of my favorite apps, I've navigated the world twice in terms of flights. But one advantage of that is that I have a global network. People from the Philippines, Singapore, Ireland, South America, the Middle East. People have asked, can you introduce me to someone from blah? And likewise, investors have asked, anything notable in so and so country, or are any of your investments, really interesting right now? So again, having a wide network, traveling a lot, and looking at trends all over the place, actually, not just in the US, not just in the Philippines, not just in Singapore. It's getting that macro view. I think that's where I can come into play. That's where I can advise people on.
I really agree with that. I remember years and years ago, I was speaking on a stage around selling and how I had been so consistent for so long. And it was kind of a phenomenon. And we're going through a very similar type, not the same, but similar type of economy. And so people were very
Hmm.
curious about how my business was sustaining and continuing to grow in an economy that would say the opposite. And I remember standing on that stage. It was a question and responding and not even realizing until I responded, but a global business is one of the
Hmm.
greatest assets you can have
Hmm.
because if there's a
Hmm.
downturn in the US, there's an upturn over here. And if there's a downturn here, there's an upturn here. Like, not everything kind of is in the same boat or
Hmm.
having the same experience. And so I
Absolutely.
really, really agree with that a global business allows you to have a little bit of insurance and stability in stable times when things are a little bit wobbly. So I love that answer.
And look, it's not even just about expanding your business globally, it's also expanding your network.
Yes.
Can you attract an investor from somewhere else?
Mhm.
Because they can probably connect you to that market or to suppliers from that region. The world is a big place with a lot of resources if we know where to look. So,
I really
yeah.
agree with that. You actually said that in the magazine, which I loved. You said is your network is your net worth, but not necessarily if it's not
Hmm.
converting or moving it forward. It's just a really great like social community. So I really appreciated how you said that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to ask for what you want, honestly. Again, a good network that's not used is just a nice address book. It's a nice contact list. What are you going to do with that? You have to ask for what you want. You have to know where you're going. And people are willing to help, regardless of the rudeness out there in the world. People are willing to help if you just ask.
That's right. And so what that reminds me of is more accountability to building the network
Hmm.
and then building
Hmm.
a network that is supportive and
Hmm.
like-minded and visionary and
Absolutely.
heart-centered. Because yes, there's others out there that are not in alignment with those values, but that's not the majority. I really believe the
Hmm.
majority are very similar to us. It's just the ones that are not are really loud. And so, right, it can feel like the whole world is saying this one thing, but I don't believe that. I really do think that there is so much resource out there, and it's a matter of us tapping in intentionally. When I go into
Hmm.
rooms, I just spoke at an event and my team was like, "Well, how was it? Did you get new clients and customers?" Like, and I said, "You know what? The benefit of that was actually the network, the conversations, the personal cell phone numbers that I was able to
Totally.
receive. That was the benefit of that room. It wasn't necessarily an influx of new clients and customers." So I really think that people need to think bigger sometimes as
Hmm.
well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. My fiance and I, we like going on these weird trips around the world. We go to places that your mother would be shocked with.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But an offshoot of that is that we have friends literally all over the world. We just met up with someone from Brazil who introduced us to this person and that person and that person. Really, it's about connecting. We tend to forget conflict arises when we forget that we belong to each other.
Yes,
Okay. That's a famous quote from somewhere. Sorry, I don't know who said that, but I read that somewhere. But really, that really struck me because at the end of the day, we're all people. We all want each other to succeed. It's better when we cooperate.
I agree. I really
Hmm.
appreciate that quote. That's really beautiful. And it's
Hmm.
really true. Do you spend most of your days on calls connecting with people? Is that your world?
Yes and no. Today I was just at home, honestly, like doing all my administrative work. And I tried to block a day for that. But if you look at my calendar, yeah, I am connecting a lot. When I'm in the Philippines, I touch base with my friends, people I've invested in, or former business associates, friends from high school. In fact, I had coffee with my high school mentor. I've known her since I was 14.
I
So
saw that on your post.
yeah, I love her so much. And when I travel, I try to connect. When I'm in the US, Miami is my home. And
Mm.
whenever I'm there, again, it's another round of, okay, what's up? How are you? Let's have coffee. It's nice connecting with people. You learn a lot more when you listen as well. I've learned so much about business and life just by talking to people, by listening. I'm planning a wedding and I'm like, I don't know where to start. I've never been that girl who would plan a wedding. I never had the Pinterest board or anything like that. So I remember one dinner in Miami, I was asking this group of women, how do I even start? I don't know where to start. And one of them gave such great advice that I'm like, oh, that's smart. She said, start with a guest list. And from the
Yes.
guest list, you can work your way from there. You
Yeah.
really learn a lot just by asking for what you want, asking, listening.
And that was a huge lesson for me, Erica. I'm going to put an exclamation mark behind what you just said because when I was in Florida, I realized there was some people that I really deeply love and wanted to grow a relationship
Hmm.
with. And I hadn't thought about, oh, I'm there
Hmm.
for 4 days. One of those days, I should be doing connections with people that are not at this event, but live
Hmm.
locally. And I left and I
Hmm.
said to the team, I said, never again hold me accountable that no matter where I'm traveling, we're looking at my little black book and my address book
Hmm.
of who
Yep.
lives there. And it's bigger than just simply going to an event and coming home. It's going to an event
Yep.
and leveraging that travel to build those relationships. That was a huge lesson for me just recently because I missed out on a really great dinner that I think would have been so fabulous, but that was simply because I
Hmm.
didn't say, "Hey, I'm in the area."
Yep. You absolutely have to connect. Whenever you travel, ask yourself, do I have friends there who I haven't spoken to in a while? Are they there? Are they not there? Whatever.
Right.
Just connect, honestly. I'm going to New York in a few weeks. So again, that was a lot of emails. I'm going to Dublin. I'm going to London. That's a lot of emails as well, connecting and all that. But it's always nice because I've realized that I've got a lot of really, really cool people that I know around the
Mhm.
world.
You do. And I feel like that's one of our responsibilities as well. If you ever come to Toronto, Miss Erica, you come knock on my door.
I was just there last year.
You were? Well, it's time to come
Yeah.
back. And if you do,
Oh,
add me to your
absolutely.
list of emails because I would love to spend time
I
with you.
will.
Thank you. I'd love to spend time. So, to wrap this up, I would really love for you to guide the listeners. I mean, we are obviously going to have in the show notes where to meet you and spend time with you, but what would be that one place? If you're like, if I could look at every person, say, start here, where would you like them to go?
My website, Erika-Aquino.com. That's Erica with a K. Everything you want to know is there. How to engage. If you want to pitch, there's an uploading tool. There's a filter tool there that you can go on. There's a mentorship program. I have an intro link. You can actually book a call with me. You can follow me on Instagram. I am Erika Aquino. I'm on LinkedIn as well. I am on all the things.
Yes, go to the
Yes.
website. I feel like this is really important for you listening in right now is that you educate yourself on angel investing and VC and just thinking about your business in a bigger way. This is a vision casting conversation we just had, Erica, of people
Yeah.
thinking outside of the day to day, the next, and really thinking long term and then reverse engineering everything you're doing
Hmm.
every day to move towards that end goal, whatever that may be.
Actually, I recently did that with a founder. I had to stop and say, okay, what do you actually want to accomplish? Because she was rattling on about all the things that she was doing. Where is this going? Hone it in. I think that's something every founder has to do once in a while. Like, what am I doing really? Where am I going? What do I want to do? Pause and take a step back.
I agree. Even in my world, that would be so beneficial because I think a lot of
Hmm.
people come to me and want me to give them the answers. They want me to tell them what to do. And it makes
Hmm.
my life and our partnership so much richer when somebody's like, here's where I want to go. Can you help
Yeah,
direct me in what needs to happen to get to that
for
goal?
sure.
Oh, then it's like, okay, we've got a system, we've got a strategy, we've got an end goal in
Mhm,
mind versus
mhm,
looking at me going, what should I do next? And again, that's kind of a reactive leader versus one that's leading the vision and
mhm,
moving
mhm.
something big forward. I really appreciate your advice on that. Well, Erica, this was a treat. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for
Of
being
course,
in
Jen.
the magazine. I really love getting to know you. And it's such a really beautiful thing to spend time with you because I'm going to say it for like the fifth time, but it's so important is your reputation and the love people have for you is so incredible. That's obviously a part of your legacy. So thank you for your time today.
That is so sweet. Seriously, that is so sweet. My brother might disagree. The forever little brother. People actually want to listen to you. Why? Just
That's their job.
exactly. But yeah, that is so sweet. Thank you for having me, Jen. Really, I mean, it's an honor as well.
Thank you.